fundamentally, it comes back to the fact that the British economy has not really grown since the financial crash in 2007, 2008. Average wages in the UK, roughly the same as they were then. And ultimately, cost and burdens on the public service, from National Health Service to an ageing population, have dramatically increased. And until you break that cycle, you are not going to be able to stop making difficult decisions, even more difficult decisions at every budget. That is the reason the tax burden is so high. That is the reason there isn't enough money kicking about for good public services. I say in the last 10 years, it's not quite in the last 10 years now, but in the 10 years running up to the last general election, if the British economy had grown as quickly as the OECD national average, there'd be £40 billion that Rachel would have kicking about in the Treasury. So no difficult tax decisions and more money for public services, or even tax cuts at this budget. And every family in this household would have about £5,000 on average more sitting around in their bank account. Can you imagine a country where every family in this country had about £5,000 more on average, and Rachel had £40 billion more sitting in the Treasury? That is what growth would have delivered. So, I won't repeat a lot of what was just said, other than to say that I think there's lots of people who kind of run out of hope, given that lack of growth over such a long period of time, in this idea that Britain can go back to that again. But you know what? We are an English-speaking country with a time zone that straddles the world, more talent per capita than almost anywhere else, and some of the best universities on the planet. If you can't use that in order to deliver growth in the new modern economy, then you really are doing something wrong. So we should be able to deliver growth, and I'm confident that with many of the changes this government's pursuing, we will be able to get back to that again.